Halo Season 2 is about to come out. Now, Halo Season 1 released two years ago. That's a lot longer than I thought it was. And I watched 3 episodes of the first season of the Halo show. Now, I was excited about this show going in. I'm a big Halo fan. Halo's been a big part of my childhood growing up. And so I was excited when they announced the Halo TV show. Halo has a lot of fun cinematic storytelling already within the game, so I was excited to see that translate to the TV show. But I got 3 episodes in and realized, why am I watching this when I seem to not enjoy it at all? So I stopped watching Halo Season 1. But now that Season 2 is coming out, I've seen all of these ads pop up all over the place, and I thought, well, maybe I'll revisit it. Maybe I'll go back and watch Season 1 and then Season 2. And then I thought, well, how about I do none of that? How about I do none of that and instead go back and play the first 3 original Halo games? So that's what I did. I did something that the Halo showrunners never did, which is play all of the Halo games. But I'm just going to talk about the first 3 today. If you think that when adapting something, you should pay attention to the source material, then subscribe. Take that, Paramount Plus. This is not a review of the Halo TV series. Don't watch the Halo TV series. This is a review of the original 3 Halo games, which I contend is one of the best action trilogies of any storytelling medium ever. Fight me in the comments, I dare you. Halo has aged incredibly well and still plays great in 2024. Replaying these games, I found so much potential that would have worked great for a TV show, but they don't care about Halo, but I do. So I'm going to give Halo the love that it deserves. Halo Combat Evolved. Man, that title aged like fine wine. All the things that made Halo 1 stand out in 2001 still make it stand out today. Great enemy AI, interesting weapons, a variety of locations, and just stellar gameplay. If they had taken any of these action set pieces in Halo 1 and put them on the big screen, I feel like people would have been pretty excited. Especially the opening. Halo 1's opening is absolutely iconic. Running through the Pillar of Autumn as grunts and elites and hunters invade your ship, only to crash land on this big ring planet-like structure and look out into the vast landscapes. Beautiful. This opening is wonderfully cinematic and would translate great into a visual medium, because at its core, Halo's story is simple. Now, don't confuse that for bad, but it's simple. At the end of the day, Halo 1 is a story about a super soldier who crash lands on an alien planet only to discover that the real threat is not the aliens that brought him there, but the ones that lie under the surface. That's all. That's it. Nothing else needs to happen. Master Chief doesn't need to have a backstory. He doesn't need to take his helmet off for us to realize that he's an interesting character. Cortana doesn't just have to be this exposition dump, but instead can be the conscience and the logic to Master Chief's combat training. The wonderful world building of the Halo games happens organically through the levels. You walk through these spaces and find their stories. You don't land on a planet and something goes, this planet is this, and it's all about this stuff, and it does all of these things. That's boring. That's not what Halo does. The first time you land on Halo, you have no idea what it is. You're just walking around finding these remnants of a civilization that you have never seen before. It's awesome. Halo is a vehicle for great action and wonderful immersive storytelling. Its action-heavy narrative is paired directly to the gameplay, so... Oh, someone's at the door. Hello? No, I'm not interested. Get that out of here. But the big twist of Halo, the thing that turns it from a good game to a great game, is the Flood. Throughout the game, you are fighting the Covenant, which you feel is the main threat. It's the reason why you crash landed on Halo in the first place. But eventually, as you go through Halo, you encounter the Flood, a parasitic alien race. The Flood have been isolated on Halo, but now that both the Covenant and the humans are there, the Flood suddenly has a host to latch onto. Luckily, Master Chief and Cortana find a way to get rid of the Flood, and also every other living thing in the galaxy. Whoops. So at the end of the day, Master Chief destroys Halo and the Pillar of Autumn and flies off into the sunset. Awesome. What an incredible action narrative. You can make a pretty great 90-minute film out of that. The game itself is about 4 hours. It's short, but it's fun. It's great. Halo's story is simple. It's as simple as that. There doesn't need to be anything extra. The excitement of Halo comes with you immersing yourself in this brand new world. So Halo 1 was a massive success. Of course it was going to get a sequel, but are we going to get Empire Strikes Back? Or are we going to get Speed 2? Well, turns out we're going to get aliens. Halo 2 takes the claustrophobic horror of Halo 1 and turns it into an action-heavy narrative between Master Chief and the Covenant. Now, keen viewers might have noticed that I'm putting Halo 2 Remastered gameplay behind me, and that's because Halo 2 Remastered had a bunch of brand new pre-rendered cutscenes that look beautifully cinematic. Look, there's a bit more lens flares than I would like, but to be honest, these cutscenes look really great and are so cinematic. They show that there is potential within the Halo source material to make fun, engaging, cinematic stories if you just paid attention to... Now look, I'll be honest, I don't think Halo 2 and 3 are as good as Halo 1. If you disagree, I want to know why. They take the simplicity of Halo 1 and kind of blow it to a level that is bigger than I like. I like the simplicity of Halo 1. Halo 2 and 3 add so much more. They throw everything at the wall. They take a simple conflict and make it intergalactic war. I mean, it's the same reason I prefer Alien 1 to Aliens. But regardless, even if Halo 2 isn't as good of a game, it's still an incredible game. Aliens is still one of the best movies ever made, even if I don't like it as much as Alien. Halo 2 doesn't just show you Master Chief's story, but hey, remember those bad guys that you were fighting in Halo 1? Well, now you get to play as them. What? The Arbiter is an incredibly awesome new character that breathes new life into Halo, as well as providing new opportunities for gameplay. Halo 2 also expands upon Halo 1's gameplay by introducing dual wielding as well as many other different gameplay changes. Halo 2 has more locations, more enemy variety, more weapons, it introduces verticality. It's just a bigger, beefier version of Halo 1. Hijacking scarabs, hitting enemies with energy swords, that stuff will never get old. Now, these elements don't necessarily translate perfectly to a cinematic medium, but that doesn't mean you disregard them entirely. This is what makes Halo so great, and by using those moments, those exciting action set pieces, you could put those moments into whatever cinematic story you want to make. Halo 2 ends with this massive cliffhanger. Apparently the Xbox wasn't big enough to do what Bungie wanted, and they also really rushed development of Halo 2, so they ended it with this big tease as to what Halo 3 would be. And after finishing Halo 2, Bungie put everything into making Halo 3 as good of a game as they wanted to make with Halo 2. Just in case you thought Halo 3 was a bad video game, Shipmaster, they outnumber us 3-1. Then it is an even fight. Halo 3 is the thrilling conclusion to the Halo trilogy. It takes everything you know and love about Halo and just blows it out of the water. If you notice me repeating myself through Halo 3 and also Halo 2, it's because Halo stayed consistent for the most part throughout its first 3 entries. But when Halo 1 is so great, you don't really need to change much. Different locations, more enemy variety, and more weapons, and introduces small changes like dual wielding. Things like this just make Halo feel fresh every time you play it without completely reinventing the wheel. Halo didn't change the essence of what made it so great. It just added new flares to shift up the gameplay loop. In Halo 3, instead of hijacking one scarab, you hijack 2. Halo 3 is the final fight of the Halo narrative, the culmination of the fight between the humans and the Covenant. Each Halo game does have its own narrative, but overarching between all 3 games, you have this longer form narrative, and Halo 3 is definitely the third act of this larger scale story. It's like taking a final battle and just putting it all in one game. Everything Halo 1 and 2 have built about the Covenant and the Halo rings and 343 Guilty Spark culminate in a battle so large it deserved its own game. Imagine being able to draw on a conflict of this scale and just completely ignoring it. The original Halo trilogy is perfect. All 3 games are wonderful to play, and I would highly recommend, if you haven't already, to go and give them a try. They're all on Game Pass. You could take the narrative of these 3 games and turn it into an engaging cinematic story. But you didn't. Even then, Halo exists outside of these 3 games. Halo didn't end with Halo 3. Halo 3 ODST was a beautiful and immersive experience where you walked through the ruins of a battlefield reliving its memories. And that soundtrack, Halo Reach showed the inevitable downfall of soldiers at war. Halo 4 expanded the weapons and enemies to the Prometheans, a new tech-based enemy. In Halo 5, and I actually don't remember what happened in Halo 5, and Halo Infinite expanded the game into an open-world sandbox. If you have never played the first 3 Halo games, you can complete that in the same amount of time it would take you to watch Season 1 of the Halo show, and I promise you, it'll be a better experience. Halo is great, and while I have been ragging on the showrunners for not actually paying attention to any of the source material, that's not necessarily a bad thing. You can do interesting adaptations that change enough of the source material to provide new stories in a new context. And on the flip side, I don't necessarily want all these games to be made shot for shot exactly as they exist in a new TV show, because in all honesty, Halo doesn't get any better than this. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Comment below what your favorite Halo game is. I actually, for nostalgia reasons, the multiplayer of Halo 4 is the one I played the most, but Halo 2 might be my favorite of the original trilogy. But Reach is also fun. ODST is great. Let me know what your favorite Halo game is, and whether or not you've seen the TV show, and if you have, whether or not you liked it. I haven't watched enough of it to make an opinion on it. That's why I made this about the games. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.